Kelly, happy Friday. Happy National Technology Management Technology Corner Day.
Yeah, we keep getting a little 15 minutes late, but better late than never.
We had a lot to catch up on. So
I know, it's like we're long lost friends, and even though we talk every day, it's like so much to say. I cherish our relationship and our friendship, and as well as all the work that we do together. We're doing some great things, helping everybody and anybody that needs it, and that's going to kind of be our segue in today, and helping people with the when you do contract ransomware.
yeah, right. So a few parking lot items before we get too far down the road. We go live at approximately 9:15 a.m. Eastern every Friday here at NTM with Kelly Siegel. He's our CEO, and we talk a little bit about technology, life, growth strategies, all the above, but mostly it's very technology centered. And today we're going to go live and talk about ransomware and what to do, not necessarily why it's bad. We've talked about the whys in the past. We've talked about the things to look out for, the trainings to put your employees through. But today we're going to talk about, and I want to talk about what to do when you get hit, right? Because it's just a matter of time. Cybersecurity and Krebs.com came out with an article last week that said over 80% of small to medium-sized businesses, and that's classified as any company that has 5 to 500 employees here in the US, has been hit with ransomware. They just don't know it. So what I want to know is, what happens when they do get hit? Do they notify their customers? Do they hire an attorney? Do they hire a PR person? How do they get their data back? And what's that whole scenario look like? So Kelly, let's kick it off and start talking about it. What does a business do when they get hit with ransomware?
Well, first of all, Dave, I want to correct you on something. The SMB market is always been a question mark. Small to medium-sized business is actually 5 to 5,000 users.
Oh,
there is a big change. So if you're 3,000 users and you think you're an enterprise level, you're not. So it goes up to 5,000. Now, where's our sweet spot? It's anywhere in there that someone has challenges, usually multi-location customers that are just looking for a partner that just delivers results. That's NTM. So first thing you do, which should be no surprise, if your files are encrypted, you're going to know, because nothing works. Your screen is completely blank, and they're usually the bad actor says, we have your files encrypted. So don't be surprised. First thing you're going to do is absolutely call the insurance company.
Okay.
Have to call and let them know we believe we've been compromised, and start that process immediately, even if you don't need it, because the first thing to do is to start mitigating. You're either going to call your IT company, or you're going to call or they're going to call you. One of two. More than likely you're going to call them, or your IT people are going to be scrambling. But call the insurance company, because they will deny the claim. They want to know, because they want to send their people if it's a big one. If you're decent size and they know that it's going to be a big ransomware payout, they want their people helping. So first things, call the insurance company, and that should be no surprise, especially after the last few technology corners we talk about insurance, because if all comes to fruition and they have to actually pay the ransomware, the insurance company is going to cover it. They want that to be low.
Got it.
So kind of like if you get a car accident, they want you to go to their approved people, because they know they're not going to get gouged. Yeah. So that's number one. Number two, and this is going to sound arrogant, but call me, because you're going to need somebody to give you some real objective opinions that says, hey, because it's only human nature for your IT partner, your IT person, your IT team to start CYA-ing. Cover your hiney. So you may not get the truth, whereas if they gave you the truth, you could mitigate it quicker or get out of that quicker. What I mean specifically is where that contracted and how widespread it is. If you tell me and I can see it, I might just say, hey, pay the ransom right now, because you ain't getting that back. Yeah. Whereas if it's the IT company or IT partner, IT team's task to make sure that backups are always available, and can't get compromised, they're going to spend hours running down a path that is going to end up dead end.
Yeah.
So I can give you the worst and best case scenario very quickly. And it's not just me. I'm going to bring in a team, and but you got to dance that fine line, because I don't want to take away from people actually trying to fix it. But we can take a 15-minute powwow and say, brief us. It's like a hostage negotiation. Brief us, tell us what it is, and then we run a path and they run a path. I would also tell you to, after the fact, is to seriously consider the practices of your IT organization, whether it be outsourced, whether insourced, and make adjustments. And I've seen a lot of companies stay with their current path, and there's got to be accountability in this world. There just has to be. And of course, they're going to tell you, oh, we've plugged that hole. Well, they beat you once. They're going to beat you again.
Yep.
So again, call NTM, call me, and let me run a full scan, which you can see that we're offering at not no charge, but we're offering discounts on it right now, and to go through all aspects of the network to find the vulnerabilities. And like I've said in my previous ones, a lot of times the bad actors are just sitting there watching because they want to get double ransomware, because they're watching your emails to see if there's something that they can attack you personally.
Yep.
And unless you're the squeaky clean Kelly Siegel and you don't have any freaking what is it, snakes in your closet, or any skeletons in your closet,
right?
And believe me, if somebody wants to dig way into my past, they can find some. But unless you're me and can and live so purely that you don't want something to get out, that you got a speeding ticket, or they're going to figure that out too, and they'll come after you personally. And nobody needs that kind of stress. So call NTM. And the funny thing about it is, we're going to enact our new offer, our cybersecurity offer, that's on our website. And I'm not going to charge you, man. We're there to help. We're there to get you out of this trouble and get you safe going forward. And that's what the NTM Safe Secure, literally the name of it, platform does for you. Keeps you safe. It keeps you secure. It has never been compromised, and nor will it be. We have layers on top of layers on top of layers on top of layers. No, I'm not stupid to think that we're never going to get something, but it can't mitigate the whole thing. But then again, hell, the Titanic wasn't sinkable, but we know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go back to step. So first you call the insurance company. And so what if they don't have the right policy set up? What if they don't have a cyber insurance policy? What's their insurance company going to do?
They're going to tell them you're not covered. Don't panic. Great question. Don't panic, because that's what insurance companies do. They're gonna try to deny. Just say, all I want you to do is document the claim. And then if they don't want to help, if they don't want to send one of their people, and believe me, if you're any sized company, they're going to send somebody, because A, they want to also be the hero. B, they don't want it to be bad. And C, it's just the right thing to do. Now, if they absolutely say nothing, just document the claim, call NTM, let's get your IT partner, and let's get you back up. Now, the one thing I'll tell you, I have several Bitcoin. Bitcoin is what the bad people are going to want you to pay them. So if your IT partner and us, we all meet and we do the debriefing, and we decide that you don't have to go through any steps to secure Bitcoin. We got it. So we're able to get you from point A to point Z very, very fast.
So my question is, how do they get their data back? So they call their insurance company, they call us, we do a network assessment, we find out what the problem is. How do they get their data back?
Well, it's in that instance, we're going to talk with their IT partners, and we're going to figure out what is the extent of the infection. Is it? Got it. A lot of times it's caught if with any decent IT intervention from their existing provider, it should be mitigated to either a certain subset of computers, a certain computer, perhaps a server, perhaps so the first thing you're going to do is see, where is it infected? How is the spread, and you start working back layers. Got it. And when when they're in trouble is when it's all the way through to the backups. And it happens. So if it's just the computers and the servers and you got good solid backups, the first thing you got to look and see is, okay, what time did we get the ransomware and when was our last backup? Because you're going to lose that data. So typically when this happens, it's, I don't know why, but it usually happens in the early afternoon, and your last backup was the night before. So you're going to lose that data, and it's irritating. So that's the worst case. The worst case scenario is you got to pay the ransom, and because they got to the backups.
Yeah.
So if they didn't get to the backups and you restore the backups, the first thing you do is wipe all computers clean and start restoring. Now, it also depends on what kind of backups you have. If you have full, like NTM does, full computer image backups, we are able to restore you like it never even happened in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
The marketing on our backups is 15 minutes, but it's usually about an hour because there's a lot of data to re-image and reinstall. So
That makes sense.
even then, an average time to just diagnose it is usually a day. So imagine being down where you can't work for a day.
So bad. I mean, I'm a small business. We have 6 employees, including myself. I can only imagine like having all of our computers locked down. You know what? I mean, that would kill us.
Yeah. And you're a tough one because, you don't have a server. So you don't have anything backed up to the cloud. I mean, hopefully you guys are in the cloud and they're using Azure and they got all those backups. And even then it's, you're a good one for them, man. They just cut their teeth on you. And probably for you, they're looking at guys like us and your customers. So it's important for you to be locked down because they're going to try to infiltrate your trusted network and spread like COVID.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
So one question I do have is, when does a business let the public know? So they get hit, they go through the remediation process with us. They call their insurance company, call us. We help them get on the right track. We help them understand their backup environment and get that up. What if customer data has been impacted? What if the ransomware got into their CRM? When do they let the public know and their customers know? Because I would want to know, right? Like if I'm dealing with a professional services firm or insurance firm or a local hospital or a private doctor's practice, I would want to know if they got hit. Not because I don't want to do business with them, because I think a lot of businesses get hit and we just don't know it. But at what point do they let the public know? And do they do a little PR crisis planning?
Well, everybody runs their company differently, and me, honesty, integrity is one of our core values. It's all over our walls, and it's just who I am.
Yeah,
that's a great question because I know that you and I were just reading some article where it said what was it, some outstanding number, like 80% of companies don't alert the public because there's a stigmatism with it. But I think honesty is the best policy. I think being vulnerable and telling them that you got it is prudent. And I think that once you get your data back and you're up and running, I think that you send out a communication that, yes, we were in fact. Now you work with your legal team because you got to find out what responsibility is. And I think that you release that, hey, we were compromised. We don't know the extent of it yet. Once we're finished and we know that, we will be sending out what data the bad actors had access to. And I believe in full disclosure. And then at the second email, when you do say, this is what was compromised, this is what they had access to, and then you say what you did to remediate it. We brought in NTM, they run a full scan, they freaking kicked everything out, it started all over. They got 3-4 levels of support, and we expect this never to happen again. And just fall on the sword. Do not, I hate to use the COVID thing, but it's like, if you get COVID, nobody wants to say anything because they're demonized or ostracized and looked at funny, like, oh my God, he had COVID. But you know what? This is the world we live in. And honesty and vulnerability is cool. And most people, most vendors, most customers are going to understand. And the ones that don't, you don't want to work with anyways. No. There's my little personal development piece for the day. If they're not aligned and they're not in with you when you're down, then they're not going to be with you when you're up. So make changes and go forward. But work with your legal. work with the insurance company and let people know. For the most part, they're just coming. They want the bad actors want want to get paid, and they want to get paid multiple times. Now,
Yeah.
if they get access to other people's data and are trying to go in, it's usually to smear you. Like when they access people's credit card information, they just want to embarrass you, so you pay more, so the ransom goes up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kelly, where can people find a little bit more about our cybersecurity offering?
Dave, what's the you tell me the URL. I always forget. It's www.trustntm.com/offer.
Yep, that's it. That's one of them. Yeah, they can also go to trustntm.com and take a look at our cybersecurity page where we walk them through our process of what we do and help them stay secure. But yes, the /offer page is tremendous because it talks a lot about the assessments that we run to make sure they're protected ahead of time. Instead of being reactive, we're very proactive.
And please understand too, correct me if I'm wrong, but we put the our 7-step process to be proactive, to ask your IT partner these 7 things to ensure that you're not a victim. And if they cannot give you these 7 things, especially number 1 and number 2, which is just basic updating, if they cannot provide you a report that this is being done, call me.
Yeah,
I'll run the scan. I'll run a third-party scan at no charge. And you ask, why do we want to do it no charge? Because I don't like people or bad actors out there making our life terrible. I will protect you. There's no hidden agenda. I don't want to sell you anything. I just want to be the line between you and these bad actors and help. And I say me, it's my team. I have an amazing team. It's starting with you and going all the way through every single person that works for me. That's why we have the shield. We're here to protect, and we're going. And if you follow those 7 things, and we will give you the warm and fuzzies.
love it. Kelly, this has been a great investment of my time. This is awesome. I love the 4 and 5 steps that we talked about on how companies keep them safe from a cybersecurity perspective and what to do when they get hit with ransomware.
Dave, be kind. Have a great weekend.
I will. You too, my friend. Thank you.
Talk to you, sir.